On this episode of America's Forest with me, Chuck Lavelle, part one of my adventures in Maine. The Pine Tree State is almost 90% forested, more than any other state in the USA. People come from all over the world to enjoy the natural beauty. But these are working forests, linchpins for the rural economy. We'll visit a lumber company that's been in business for 6 generations.
We use every bit of that tree, don't we, Jim?
Absolutely, everything but the whine of the saw.
We'll hear about a new venture that's making insulation from wood chips.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Lavelle.
At the game of logging, I'll test my chainsaw skills against some of the state's best lumberjacks. And I cap it all off performing with a band that's giving new life to 19th century logging songs. All that and more on America's Forests.
All right.
Hi, I'm Chuck Lavelle. You know, in addition to my beautiful family, there are 2 things that I have a very special interest in and passion for: music and trees. My wife, Rose Lane, and I own and manage our own forest land, Charlane Woodlands, right here in Georgia. And we grow southern yellow pine as well as some other species. Now, as a musician, getting to play and travel with the Rolling Stones, the Allman Brothers Band, Eric Clapton, and others, I get to meet folks out there that also have a passion for trees and forests. And now I get to share their stories with you. So join me as we journey through America's forests.
Wabanaki means people of the Dawnland, and so we are east and we see the sunrise come up over the Atlantic Ocean, and that's where that name comes from.
Jennifer Neptune is a member of the Penobscot Nation, part of the Wabanaki Confederacy. She's also a registered Maine guide, specializing in taking visitors on canoe trips through her native lands. To be a Maine guide, you have to pass a rigorous set of tests. And, of course, make a mean cup of camp coffee.
Nice camp coffee here, Jennifer. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You've been doing this a while, haven't you? Guiding people. How long have you been doing this?
I have been doing outdoor things my whole life and being out on the river with my dad, but officially guiding for about 7 years now.
7 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And your father, your grandfather were also guides, is that right?
They were. So at Penobscot Nation, many of the men in our community were guides, right up from the 1700s on.
Wow, from the 1700s?
Yeah, yeah.
That goes back a little bit.
We knew the rivers and we're always traveling the waterways, and so it was like a natural thing. Maine has a beautiful forest. The North Maine Woods is famous all over the world. Yeah. It's a working forest, most of it. There is a lot of conserved lands as well, and a lot of canoeing corridors that have been preserved, and that's great for guides because people can really feel like they're having a wilderness experience. As Indigenous people, we feel our ancestors in these places and that long connection, but it's really rewarding to bring other people that, you know, haven't made that connection yet, and to watch them see how special and beautiful these places are, because that's how we're going to keep these places protected, is that people have to get out there and experience it and love it and want to care and want to protect it. It's ironic in a way, but the logging industry and the paper companies, because they are such huge landowners, they're kind of the reason that this forest still exists and that we have these places that are undeveloped and haven't been turned into towns and cities.
94% of Maine is privately owned, but it still has a deep tradition of public access. That's particularly true in the half of the state that's known as the North Maine Woods. The North Maine Woods encompasses millions of acres of working forest. It's considered unorganized territory with no local government at all. It's managed by the private landowners, including investment trusts, timber companies, conservation groups, and deep-rooted families. It's complicated.